The day my family slammed the door in my face after I came out as gay was the day I thought I'd never see them again. But when I won $50 million in the lottery, they were the first ones knocking, tears in their eyes and excuses tumbling from their lips like they had never hurt me at all. It had been 10 years since that devastating Thanksgiving in our family home in rural Ohio. I was 18, my voice shaking as I told my parents, my older brother Jake, and my sister Sarah that I was gay and in love with my high school friend. Dad's face twisted in anger. "Not in my house," he spat. Mom cried but didn't defend me. Jake looked away. Sarah whispered, "How could you?" They gave me 1 hour to pack. I left with a duffel bag and a broken heart, hitchhiking to Chicago, where I knew no one but had heard it was more accepting. The first years were brutal. I slept on friends' couches, worked minimum wage jobs, battled depression, and the constant fear of who I was. Therapy helped, and slowly I built a life. I finished community college, landed a job in marketing, and met Marcus at a local LGBTQ support group. He was a high school teacher with warm brown eyes and a patience that healed my scars. We fell in love slowly, moved in together, and created a home filled with laughter, Sunday brunches with chosen family, and quiet nights talking about our dreams. Marcus knew my story, held me through the nightmares, and showed me that love didn't have to come with conditions. We weren't rich, but we were content. The lottery ticket was a whim, something I bought every week for fun. That Tuesday evening, after a long day at the office, I checked the numbers on my phone while Marcus graded papers at the kitchen table. My heart stopped. All 6 numbers matched. $50 million. I dropped the phone. "Marcus, it's us. We won." We hugged, cried, called our lawyer friend from the support group. The next weeks were a blur of meetings, signing papers, setting up trusts to stay anonymous. But news leaked. A local reporter connected the dots. The first call came from Sarah. "Ethan, is it true? Oh my God, congratulations. We've missed you so much." Her voice was too sweet, too sudden. I hung up without a word. Then Mom's voicemail. "Son, we've been thinking about you. Family is family." Dad texted, "We need to talk. This could be good for all of us." I showed Marcus the messages. They want nothing to do with me for 10 years, and now this. Marcus hugged me. "It's your call, love. But don't let them ruin what we built." I blocked the numbers at first, but the curiosity and old pain gnawed at me. Maybe this was a chance to close the chapter. Little did I know, opening that door would force me to face the deepest parts of myself. The following weekend, I unblocked Sarah and replied with a short message. "Meet me at the coffee shop downtown." Alone. She agreed immediately. When I arrived, she was there with tears already forming. "Ethan, you look great. We've been so worried." I sat down, arms crossed. "Worried? You all kicked me out." She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "The money changes things, doesn't it?" She denied it, but her eyes flickered. We talked for an hour, her sharing family updates, Dad's health issues, Jake's failed business, Mom's loneliness. I listened, feeling the old guilt creep in despite everything. By the end, I agreed to a family call. Marcus warned me that night over dinner. "Be careful. This isn't about you. It's about the money." I nodded, but the seed of doubt was planted. As I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, I wondered if blood really was thicker than the pain they caused. The calls started pouring in the next day, each one pulling me closer to a reunion I wasn't sure I wanted. The family call was awkward and full of forced niceties. Mom cried on the phone. Dad cleared his throat a lot. Jake grumbled about past mistakes. They all wanted to come to Chicago to celebrate with me. I agreed, against Marcus's better judgment. "If they hurt you again, I'm here," he said. 2 weeks later, they arrived at our apartment, the one we upgraded to a nicer place with the first payout. The reunion was tense. Hugs that felt stiff, questions about my lifestyle. Sarah brought her kids, who didn't know their uncle was gay until now. The conversation turned to money quickly. "The medical bills are piling up," Dad said casually. I felt the shift. Marcus squeezed my knee under the table. That night after they left for the hotel, I broke down. "They haven't changed, Marcus. It's all about the cash." He held me. "You don't owe them anything." But the next day, I wired some money for Dad's bills. It felt like a test. Then the misunderstandings began. Jake asked for a loan for his business, promising repayment. I hesitated. The pressure built as they stayed longer, their comments about my relationship becoming more pointed. You could have a real family, Mom hinted. The conflict escalated when Sarah pulled me aside and confessed she needed help for her divorce. I started questioning my own identity again, wondering if my happiness with Marcus was enough or if I was still the outcast. Days turned into weeks of subtle manipulations. Jake cornered me one afternoon while Marcus was at work. "Come on, Ethan. We're blood. That guy is nice, but he's not family." I felt the old shame rise, the same shame that had driven me out of Ohio. I told him no, but the words stuck in my throat. Marcus noticed the change in me immediately. Over coffee one morning, he said gently, "You're pulling away. Talk to me." I admitted the doubts. What they're right. What if I ruined everything by being who I am? He took my hands. "You didn't ruin anything. They did. And we're building something real here." His words grounded me, but the visits continued. Sarah's kids started asking innocent questions about why Uncle Ethan didn't have a wife. Mom cried again, saying she just wanted grandkids the normal way. The emotional weight pressed harder every day. I began avoiding calls, burying myself in work, and a new foundation I wanted to start for LGBTQ youth in Chicago. Marcus supported the idea fully. "This is your chance to turn the pain into purpose," he said. But family wouldn't let go. Dad showed up unannounced in my office one afternoon, hat in hand. "Son, we're proud of what you've made. Let's be part of it." Pride? The word felt hollow after a decade of silence. I sent him away with a check, but inside I felt hollow too. That evening, Marcus and I walked along the lakefront, the city lights reflecting on the water. I thought winning would fix everything. I confessed. Instead, it's ripping open old wounds. He kissed my temple. Then we heal them together. Your choice, always. The support gave me strength, but the family pressure was mounting, and I knew a bigger confrontation was coming. The misunderstandings were piling up, and my heart felt torn between the past I couldn't change and the future I was fighting to protect. The tension peaked when Jake posted a vague social media update about family reunions and blessings from above. Comments flooded in, some from old Ohio neighbors who now knew about the win and my sexuality. The leak spread fast. Marcus came home from school to find me pacing. "They're using this," I said, turning my life into their story. He suggested we meet them all together at a neutral hotel to set boundaries. I agreed, but dread filled me. The meetings started civil. Dad thanked me for the money. Mom hugged me too long. Then Jake dropped the bomb. "We need more, Ethan. Enough to start over. You owe us that much after everything." The room went silent. Sarah nodded. "It's only fair." I stood up, voice steady for the first time in weeks. "Oh, you threw me away." The argument exploded. Dad shouted about sin and choices. Mom pleaded for unity. Sarah cried about her kids' future. I felt the old identity crisis surge. Was I still the broken son they saw? Marcus stepped in calmly. "Ethan doesn't owe anyone his life." Jake turned on him. "This is family business." The betrayal stung deeper than words. I left the room shaking, Marcus right behind me. In the car, I whispered. I almost believed them again. He drove us home in silence, then held me all night. The next days brought more calls, more guilt trips. I started therapy again, digging into the abandonment trauma I thought I'd buried. Marcus attended sessions with me, his presence a quiet anchor. We talked late into nights about my growth, how coming out had forced me to become stronger, how our love had taught me worth beyond blood. Meanwhile, I quietly funded my foundation, hiring staff and planning events for young people facing the same rejection. The work gave me purpose amid the chaos. But family didn't stop. Sarah showed up at our door one rainy evening, alone. I see now how wrong we were. Help me leave him for good. I gave her resources, not cash, and she left angry. The partial forgiveness I offered felt like a test to my own healing. Weeks passed with small victories. Marcus and I took a weekend trip to the Wisconsin countryside, away from the noise. There, under starry skies, he proposed a simple future. No more proving ourselves. I said yes, tears mixing with laughter. Back in Chicago, the foundation launch succeeded, drawing local media that focused on my journey without mentioning the lottery drama. Yet Dad left a voicemail that cut deep. "You're choosing strangers over us." The words reopened scars, but Marcus reminded me of the truth. Chosen family isn't strangers. They're the ones who stayed. The internal battle raged. Sacrifice the past for peace, or keep fighting for a reconciliation that might never come. Every decision carried weight, shaping the man I was becoming. The manipulation escalated when Jake arrived unannounced at the foundation office with documents. "Sign this, and we'll call it even. A family trust." I refused. He stormed out, but not before leaking a story to a tabloid about the gay lottery winner abandoning his roots. The article went viral, twisting my silence into cruelty. Comments poured in, some supportive, many cruel about my sexuality and selfish wealth. Marcus shielded me as best he could, but the pressure cracked my resolve. I confronted the family via video call, voice breaking. "Is this what you want? To destroy what I've built?" Mom cried genuine tears. "We just want to be included." Dad stayed silent. Sarah looked ashamed. That night, I made my first major sacrifice. I transferred a lump sum to a trust for Sarah's kids and Jake's business, but with ironclad conditions. No more contact unless they respected my boundaries. Marcus supported the move. "You're protecting us, not rewarding them." The decision brought temporary peace, but inside, I wrestled with guilt. Had I betrayed my growth by giving in? Therapy sessions deepened, revealing how the lottery had amplified every unresolved feeling. Friends from the support group rallied, reminding me of the community that had lifted me when family failed. A turning point came during a quiet dinner with Marcus's parents, who had welcomed me years ago. Their warmth contrasted sharply with my own family's coldness. "You're our son, too," his mom said. The words healed something deep. Yet the next morning, Dad called. "The money isn't enough. We need you back home." The demand revealed the truth. It was never about forgiveness, only control. I hung up and blocked them all. The betrayal burned, but it also freed me. Marcus and I celebrated with a small party for our closest friends, toasting to chosen family. The evening was filled with stories of survival and love, reinforcing my path. Still, doubt lingered. I visited the foundation site one afternoon, watching young people share their stories. One teen's words mirrored mine. "I thought blood meant everything. I realized my journey was helping others avoid my pain." The sacrifice of limited contact with my family felt right, yet the emotional cost weighed heavy. Marcus noticed my quiet moods. "You're allowed to feel both," he said. "Grief and growth." The weeks blurred into months of steady healing. But a final confrontation loomed when Sarah texted about an emergency back in Ohio. The choice to go or stay would test every lesson I'd learned. I flew to Ohio alone, Marcus waiting in Chicago for my call. The family gathered at the old house, faces lined with years and regret. Dad's health had worsened, and Sarah's divorce was final. They apologized in waves, real tears this time, or so it seemed. "We were wrong," Mom said. "The money showed us what we lost." I listened, heart pounding. Jake admitted the tabloid leak. I was desperate. The confessions poured out, each one a small step toward understanding. But when Dad added, "Now come home and fix this family," the old pattern returned. The confrontation exploded in the living room where it all began. "Fix what you broke," I shouted. "I built my life without you." Sarah defended me for once. "He's right." Jake stormed out. Mom hugged me, whispering she was proud. The mixed emotions overwhelmed me. Anger, relief, sadness. I left the house at dawn, driving to the bus station where my journey started. There, I called Marcus. I set the final boundary. Limited contact, no money demands. He praised my strength. Flying home, I reflected on the growth. The trip had forced me to see them as flawed people, not monsters. Back in Chicago, Marcus met me at the airport with flowers. "Welcome home." We spent the evening talking through every feeling. The betrayal had tested us, but our bond emerged stronger. I launched another foundation program, focused on family reconciliation workshops for LGBTQ youth and parents. The work gave purpose to my pain. Family calls came sporadically, polite updates, no demands. Sarah visited once, meeting Marcus properly for the first time. The awkward dinner turned warm, a tiny bridge built on my terms. Yet the internal crisis peaked one sleepless night. Was I sacrificing too much by holding back full forgiveness? Marcus woke and listened. Your peace comes first. His support reminded me of every pivotal choice. Leaving Ohio, trusting love, using the money for good. The high point arrived when the foundation hosted its first big event. Standing on stage, I shared a shortened version of my story. The applause from hundreds of young faces washed away years of doubt. Family watched online, sending a simple message: we're trying. The moment marked my awakening. I had grown beyond their rejection. Months later, the foundation thrived, helping dozens navigate identity and family struggles just like mine. Marcus and I bought a small house outside the city, a quiet place to build our future. The lottery money funded scholarships and safe homes, turning wealth into lasting impact. Family visits remained rare and structured. Dad's health stabilized with the earlier help, and Sarah's kids called me Uncle Ethan without hesitation. The changes felt earned, not owed. One sunny afternoon, Marcus and I stood on our porch watching the sunset. He slipped his hand into mine. You did the hard work. You chose yourself. I smiled, remembering every misunderstanding, every sacrifice. The journey had reshaped me, from the scared teen on that Ohio doorstep to a man secure in his love and purpose. Chosen family surrounded us, and blood family lingered at the edges, learning slowly. The awakening was complete. Forgiveness wasn't erasure, but boundaries were freedom. As Marcus and I watched the city lights from our balcony, I realized I had found my true family. Was it right for me to partially forgive my blood relatives for the sake of my own peace? Or should I have cut ties completely? True or false? Family can always be redeemed, no matter the past betrayal.